Hey guys, it's that time of year again. It's Bronze Goddess from Estee Lauder video review time. I'm gonna do a video review because that's what I just said. Every year, Estee Lauder launches a summer collection in the spring called Bronze Goddess. It's makeup and fragrance collection. Every year, I get it. I do a review. It's like my favorite collection that comes out. This may be my last Bronze Goddess collection video review, and I will get into why in a moment. But if it's going to be, then I'm going to do this how I want to. So I'm just going to sit and talk. I've got a bunch of products in front of me. Actually, they're next to me. I've got a bunch of information that I'm going to give you, and we're going to talk about the history behind the fragrance. The history of the fragrance, not, I don't know, the history behind it. Ooh, I should. That would have made a very interesting video. That's not what this is going to be. Also, if you want to watch a video where someone's just going to sit here and swatch a bunch of stuff and go, oh my god, yes, you need it because it's wonderful, that's not going to be this video either. I don't think I do that. I hope I don't do that. I'm not going to do that. All that being said, let's get started. And we're going to start at the beginning, and the beginning, I think, is going to be the end. What? I'm going to start with the makeup collection from this year, and then we're going to go backwards and talk about things leading up to it, and then talk about the fragrance. Now, there's one thing that's going to be missing as I talk to you about the makeup collection for this year. That is a face and eye palette. Estee Lauder posted a picture of their Bronze Goddess collection on Instagram, and in that photo, there's a picture of a face and eye palette, like a bronzer and some eyeshadows. People have been asking about this. When's it coming out? It's not out. What's it called? What's going on? Estee Lauder is responding to other questions, but they are ignoring all the questions about this face and eye palette. I was gonna wait until I had it to do this video, but I don't know when they're gonna come out with it. And because everything else, well, there's only 3 things in the collection, and one of them sells out faster than anybody can get it. I'm like, what's the point? So I don't know if I really care about this face and eye palette anymore. And I'm just gonna go ahead and do this review and just do it. I'll just do it. So let's talk about the 3 things that are out besides the face and eye palette that's not even out, so it doesn't matter. And let's start with the highlighter so we can get it over with. This is Heat Wave by Estee Lauder. Nice to meet you. Heat Wave's been out before. This is what it looks like. It is a gold highlighter. It looks like 500 other gold highlighters that everybody has. Is it a nice highlighter? Yes. It's a very good formula, absolutely. But it is just a gold highlighter. And people are freaking out about this. And I don't even know if they know why they're freaking out about it, but they are freaking out about it. Now, when it came out before, I was like, where did I put this? It came in the old Signature compact, the gold one, like this. And it had a little stamped thing, which it still does. A lot of people are also flipping out who have been able to get the new Heat Wave because it's selling out so fast whenever it launches that they're saying this is different than this, like the colors are different. I'm going to swatch them for you so that you can see. And I'm going to irritate you because I'm not going to tell you which one's which. But these are the 2 highlighters right here. If you can kind of see, that's what they look like. I'll do it on my other fingers too, just so you can see. That's them there. That's them there. Which one's which? I don't know. These could be both the same. These could be the other one. Or maybe I switched fingers. We'll never know. Here's the deal. I think these are so similar that you're never going to notice. But some people, yes, they're picky and they just look at like a swatch next to a swatch and go, oh, the subtle differences. How am I going to get on with my life? And you don't apply highlighter like this. And if you do, you got a problem. So I don't think you can tell a difference. Now, some people are also flipping out because the new one is more glittery. They're like, oh my God, it's got glitter in it and I don't like glitter. The new one comes with an overspray, and you have to get rid of it to get rid of the glitter. And that's the highlighter. And I don't want to talk about it again. Let's talk about lipsticks. There's two lipsticks that are coming out. I should have left these in the tube so you could see this. Two lipsticks that are coming out that look like this. They are called Bronze Goddess Summer Lip Glow. There's Sunlit Nude and then Sun something or other. Sun. This is so light. It's like white print on a light tan background. Sun blush. So this is what they look like. Ooh, they're so different. And on the skin, I will tell you what these ones are. This is, if I can read it, Sun Blush and Sunlit Nude. Of course, I'm swatching this on my hand. You can't even see what I'm doing. So Sun Blush is a little pinker. Sunlit Nude is right here. Oh my God, they're so different, right? So, okay, this is the deal. And they smell, I don't know what that is. Kind of cocoa-y, maybe coconutty. I don't know. They're a sheer frosted lipstick that lasts about an hour on your lips and is moderately drying. They're pretty. You don't need both of them. And you can find anything like this pretty much anywhere else. MAC has their glaze finishes that I wish they made more of, but their luster lipsticks too are sheer, and some of them are frosty. So there's a ton of. I'm wearing one of them right now, by the way. I'm wearing the nude one, Sunlit Nude or whatever. This is the other problem that I have with this though, is the package. And yes, it's a pretty kind of rose gold color that I don't know if you can tell here. But this looks like gift with purchase lipstick. So I look at this and I'm like, where's the money there? That's the makeup collection this year. I want to tell you a story because, like I said, I'm just going to sit and talk. I'm going to omit the name of the person I'm talking about in case I'm making this story up completely. I don't want to get a phone call saying, dude, you're a douchebag. I have a friend used to live in Portland. Not I did, she did. Used to live in Portland. She'd come up and visit. At some point, Thai food comes up in the relationship. We're going to go out for Thai food. Let's find something to eat. Let's go to Thai food. I don't know. Whatever. Thai food comes up, and we go out for Thai food, and she hates it. Maybe she goes out to Thai food with somebody else. I don't know. But she hates Thai food up here. And so it becomes this sort of like running joke almost. Let's go to Thai food. Oh, that Thai food sucked. Let's go to Thai food. Oh, that Thai food sucked. There's no good place to get Thai food in Washington. Washington has really shitty Thai food. That's all I keep hearing. Washington has like the worst Thai food. Now, I'm not really offended by this because, I mean, Thai food's fine, but it's not like, whoa, oh my God, you're hurting my Thai food feelings. But it's like, I'm like, oh my God, you're driving me crazy with the Thai food stuff. So there's one point when I think we're pulling out of a gas station and she's in the car, she's in the passenger seat, and she starts talking about Thai food again and like how Thai food in Washington sucks. And I finally like start to lose my mind, and through very politely gritted teeth, I'm like, okay, where do you love to get Thai food? Like, where's your favorite place to go to get Thai food? Tell me, because I'm thinking, let's just drive there at this point, because I'm going crazy with you talking about how much you hate Thai food in Washington. So I'm like, where do you love Thai food? Where's the best Thai food you've ever had? And she goes, oh, I've never had good Thai food. That's what I thought. And what I said was, maybe you don't like Thai food. I mean, right? Does that make sense? If you've never had good Thai food anywhere, quit trying. Accept the fact that you don't like Thai food. It's not bad. It doesn't make you a bad person. You're still a fine person. It's okay. You just hate Thai food. That's fine. Some people hate pizza. Some people hate sex with women. Some people hate sex with men. Doesn't make you a bad person. So I'm thinking at this point, I don't think I like the Bronze Goddess collection from Estee Lauder. And now I have to pick up the pieces of my broken identity. I want to talk about the fragrance. But before I want to talk about the fragrance, no, before I talk about the fragrance, I'm going to talk to you about something sort of pseudo related and not really, because I brought these out specifically as sort of a public service announcement. Okay, you've got this highlighter that's coming out, right? This heat wave shenanigan thing. No, you know what the shenanigans are? The shenanigans are coming up in a minute because the shenanigans are the fragrance from this year. Those are some shenanigans. You got this highlighter coming out. And it's a great formula. It's wonderful. It's Estee Lauder's Pure Color Gelée formula is what they call it, which is they say it's a tri-blend formula. It's a liquid powder gel hybrid, which they can accurately claim because the primary ingredient in here, the first ingredient on the list in its like natural sole ingredient form is like a liquid. So yes. Now, MAC has their own version called Extra Dimension Skin Finish. Sister company or umbrella under the umbrella of Estee Lauder, whatever. So they do share formulas. And this is what it looked like when it first launched a while back, a couple years ago. This is MAC's Extra Dimension Skin Finish in Superb, which is the same as Estee Lauder's Modern Mercury. These are very nice. Same exact formula, same colors even in some cases. Exactly, you look at the ingredients, that's that first ingredient, is that liquid, ethyl hexyl hokey pokey, whatever it's called. MAC started releasing these, which are a flatter press powder. These are their permanent highlighters. They have 4 of them out now. They've launched some with holiday collections last year, the year before. They're going to be adding more to their lineup of these powders. This is what I want you to know. These aren't the same. Just in case you didn't know, the primary ingredient in here is mica. It is not a liquid gel hybrid thing. Now, could they have possibly just decided to rearrange how they wrote their ingredient list and take a product that it almost is at the bottom of this list and bump it all the way up to the top? Sure, I suppose they could. But it's different. And the reason I checked the ingredient list in the first place was because when I bought this, I used it and I thought, this is different. It's not nearly as smooth. It's not as pigmented. I need to go in with a stiffer brush and I need to apply this in layers to get like the glow that I wanted. I don't really care for those. I don't think they're that great. And perhaps that's why these are always limited edition. Perhaps that formula is just too tricky to work with. I don't know. Maybe the ingredient's hard to get. I doubt it. It's more than likely that it's just maybe they end up with a bunch of duds because it's such a weird, funky, almost gel kind of a powder. And so it's not cost effective to keep it in permanent production. So MAC does this and makes it much more stable. I have no idea. I don't know. Every time you order something from Anastasia Beverly Hills, it comes broken. And people freak out, but it's like, that's why you like the powder. You like it because it's so super duper soft and like almost moist. So it's gonna like shatter. And that may be the case. Maybe that's why these are never permanent Estee Lauder. I don't know. I'm just pulling that out of my butt. I just want you to know that the MAC ones aren't the same. Don't listen to people who tell you that they are. Let's talk about the history of Bronze Goddess. I just like turned a mirror and it like sort of started to shine on me. 2006. I'm going to take you back to 2006. Estee Lauder, in collaboration with Tom Ford, does a collection called Azure Soleil, which to me sounds like some sort of a greeting. Like you should tip your hat. Azure Soleil. Well, Azure Soleil to you too. It is a sort of a throwback collection in a way. The packaging is the old Estee Lauder sort of baby blue turquoise color and gold. It's really pretty. There's eyeshadows, lipsticks, and some cheek bronzer blush sticks. The name Azure, would certain. I don't know why it wouldn't be taken from this. Estee Lauder has a perfume. This is the new bottle. This isn't the old one. called Azure that smells not unlike Mrs. Roper from Three's Company. Now, I quite like this, but we'll talk about that another day. They also come out with a spray, like a body oil that comes out, and everybody loves it because it doesn't smell like anything they'd smelled before. It's beachy, it's citrusy, it's coconutty, but it's got a sunscreen quality about it that's just really interesting. The body oil sells really well. The collection does really well. 2007, another Azure Soleil fragrance comes out, and it's got even more products. They add some other bronzers and lipsticks and lip glosses or whatever it is that they do. I know that there's a compact that comes out, and they relaunch the Azure Soleil body oil. They also add an Eau Fresh, I cannot say this, Creme Fraiche skin scent. It's like an eau de toilette that comes out, and it does remarkably well. This is the smaller bottle because it's the only one that I have. This is the precursor to the Bronze Goddess fragrance that we know today. It's essentially the same. There are subtle differences. If you're really big into fragrance, those differences are going to probably hit you in the face much harder than they would someone who is just sort of a casual user of fragrance and just likes the way something smells. To me, this smells like Bronze Goddess. It's maybe a little bit more creamy or a little more vanilla-y or something. It's just maybe a little more subtle. It's not quite as in your face with the scent as soon as you spray it. But it's Bronze Goddess, essentially, in my opinion. If you like one, you'll probably like the other. Unless, like I said, you're like way nerdy about fragrance, which is fine. I just happen to not be. 2008. Tom Ford is no longer collaborating with the brand because he is left to do his own private blends line of perfumes and eventually cosmetics. Estée Lauder launches their first Bronze Goddess collection. They come out with a range. I mean, the color collection is nail polishes and lipsticks and lip glosses and eyeshadows and all kinds of stuff. And they also launched their new range of like bronzers, which didn't quite look like this, but this was the old bronzer compact. This is similar to this. And their liquid bronzer, which used to come in a glass bottle and now comes in a little squeezy tube. And I just bought these. I bought so many of these up. This is an old one, and I just used this on myself just to kind of get rid of it. But I have a lot of backups of that because it is amazing. I love it. And a compact that I didn't get because it was really expensive, but it's really pretty. And if I could find it now, I would love it. But then it would be even more expensive. And they launched their first Bronze Goddess fragrance. Right here. This is what the bottle looked like. I do have these labeled. If you see these little white things, that's so I know what year they came out. They used this bottle design in 2008 and 2009. And these are pretty much the same. I know some people, oh no, they're different. Yes, a little. I'm not worried about it. I use this over this because I don't have, I mean, this is all I have, and this isn't available anymore. But they're really similar. Really, maybe a little more sophisticated. You could say me think of that, couldn't you? You could say that Azure Soleil enjoys crepe Suzette and a hot dog makes Bronze Goddess lose control. That's how closely related they are. 2009, another Bronze Goddess collection from Estée Lauder, and this time they add an eyeshadow palette that I don't have, but I talked about in a previous video. I think it was called Sand and Sea, if I'm not mistaken. Six pan eyeshadow palette. And they add their first bronzing blush. They did this 3 years in a row. This isn't that one, but this is kind of what the compact looked like. And the powder itself had a similar design on the actual product. Again, lip glosses and eye pencils were added, all that stuff. And the skin scent in this bottle still. Now, 2010, they changed the bottle design. They come out with another bronzing blush, but this one has it was very, very popular. It has a coral reef pattern. I thought it looked like a tiger. I thought it was a tiger when I saw it. And these like wand eyeshadow, like cream eyeshadows, liquid eyeshadows, whatever. And the new bottle is clear with a gold fleck to it. I don't know if you can really see that very well. Some people will tell you that when they switch to this bottle from this, that they change the fragrance. I can't smell a difference. I've never been able to, but some people insist that it's different. Now, it's quite possible that something that comes out just once a year, that it changes formulas slightly or whatever. Maybe the ingredients are different, they're sourced from different places. I don't know how this stuff works. Yes, it's possible. I don't notice a difference. They also added a solid perfume in a little gold ball thing that I also don't have, but I think would be kind of fun to own. 2011, Bronze Goddess comes out, and I think this is Bronze Goddess Soleil. Soleil, yes, Bronze Goddess Soleil. Now this is the first. This is the first time that I do a Bronze Goddess video. So you can go back and you can watch that, and you can see all the products that come out with this thing that I've been holding up. This is the bronzing blush that came out that year. It's a little sea star bronzing. I love this thing, and I never use it because I love it so much. I do use it, but I use it very sparingly. That comes out. Fragrance, again, in the gold flecked bottle. There's an eyeshadow palette that I still, to this day, just thought that was like the greatest eyeshadow. I just really, really enjoyed it. I thought it was great. And some eye pencils that I absolutely, jumbo duo-sided eye pencils that I loved so much that I didn't use. And this is a lesson to use the things that you love, because I loved them so much that I didn't use them because I didn't want to use them up, and then they dried up. And I haven't thrown them away, but I can't use them anymore because they're little sticks of dried Play-Doh and wood. It won't work. This year, in 2011, they also launched Bronze Goddess Soleil, which is a counterpart to the Bronze Goddess fragrance. This confused a lot of people because it said Bronze Goddess on the bottle. They bought it thinking that it was the original Bronze Goddess fragrance, which smells very unique. As I said, it's coconut, it's some floral and citrus in the opening, but it's citrusy, coconutty, sunscreeny. I smell pickles right away. That first spray, I smell dill pickles. I'm the only person that I know that's ever said that, but I smell dill pickles. I think it smells so, I'm wearing it right now, and I can smell it, and it smells so good. It is a fragrance that you wear to an orgy. That's how I would describe it. It's what you wear when you're like walking into a swinger's pad and going down to the playroom in the summer off the beach, and you're wearing a sarong and nothing else, and it's just, it smells like just sexy skin. It's like, it's a very naked fragrance, if that makes any sense. I love it. It's just, I find it very erotic. Some people really, really hate it. It doesn't smell like a lot of perfumes, and I think that's why. Bronze Goddess Soleil is very different. This, to me, smells more like a regular perfume. It's very beachy. It's kind of got a linen, fresh sort of smell to it. I think it smells a lot like Happy by Clinique without the sort of like clawing, plasticky smell that I think that Happy has. There's something in that that always gives me a headache. It smells okay on other people. I hate wearing it myself. But that's what this reminds me of. 2012, another bronze. I have my notes here, and all of a sudden I just hit something, and it all went to hell. 2012, another Bronze Goddess collection comes out. I don't know why I keep saying that. Of course it did. You can see the products in the video. They launched their first Gelée powder with a Bronze Goddess collection. It was Shimmering Sands, I believe, an eyeshadow palette that was kind of cool, and a duo pencil. But the collection starts to get smaller, and it's a little bit less exciting than it was like the years prior. They also launched the bottles, the glass with the gold fleck, and this is called Bronze Goddess Capri. At this time, they also launch a fragrance called Bronze Goddess Capri, just like they did with Soleil. Totally different. I don't have it. I have a review on it because I thought it was so fucking awful that I didn't buy it, and I just kind of wanted to like say, hey, this is what I thought of this. At first spray, I'm like, oh, this is very floral. It's very light. I sprayed it on myself. I went home because I wanted to wear it before I committed to buying it. And by the time I got home, I could not wash it off fast enough. I got this nasty, musky, vanilla kind of grossness that I just thought was disgusting. It was old lady in a really bad way. And I love old lady perfumes. I'm a big fan of those. Give me some white shoulders. Ooh, I am happy. But this was gross, and I didn't like it, so I didn't buy it. So I don't have it to show you. But the bottle looked very similar to Bronze Goddess Soleil, just in different colors. You can see this is like a gradient from blue to yellow. It was just a little bit different. The next year, they don't call it anything. There's no counterpart fragrance. It's just Bronze Goddess. They launch Heat Wave for the first time in the gold compact that I showed you before. Their bronzer that I showed you in the glass thing starts being put out in a squeezy tube, and lipsticks, lip glosses, and an eyeshadow palette that was kind of cool. But again, the collection it's about as good as it was the previous year. Not as good as Soleil, but it was still okay. The bottle is still in the gold fleck. Wait, are we in 2013? We are. No, they changed the bottle. They went to this, which is a really kind of a cool semi-transparent gold bar. This was 2013, 2014, and they relaunched the spray oil because it hadn't been available since the Tom Ford collaborations. So this is the oil. I do recommend against getting the oil unless you're going to burn through this, because it is in an oil. The carrier is just different than a regular fragrance. It does not last as long. I don't find that the scent is still around after a couple years, even if you keep it in a nice, cool, dark place. It's just not, it just doesn't last as long. So really make sure that that you're going to use it up if you get it. And then I think it's okay to buy, because it's nice to have. And I do have some of the ones that have shimmers in them because I thought that they were pretty. In general, I would recommend, if you like the scent, don't do the oil. Do the regular cream frige instead. 2014, that same brick bottle comes out. This is when the gold brick, this thing, I'll just hold it up again. My God, people. This is when the makeup collection starts to really disappoint. There was some Clinique Chubby Stick lipsticks and eyeshadow palette that I really didn't think was super great. 3 of the colors were good. The others were just okay. The bronzer changes from this package to this, which is really pretty. This is what they use now. There's a cream blush that comes out that I really liked, but that was the thing that I got most excited about. And looking back on it, that's kind of disappointing that the only thing that you're really jazzed about is a cream blush. Now, where this collection shined in 2014 was in the addition of some really cool products in the fragrance line of Bronze Goddess. They had the oil again, but this time, and this is this year's bottle, but just to give you an idea, this time it was it had gold glitter in it. So this is basically what it looked like. The bottle was slightly different, yes, but that's basically what it was. They also added like a after bath splash, like a body splash, very Jean Matais, and God damn, that just smells so, I love the smell so much. I loved this. I thought that this was really cool. I really haven't used it, but I had to buy it. The bottle's huge, and I think it's great. This is my second or third container of this. This launched in 2014 as well, and this is a Bronze Goddess Whipped Body Cream. This was so popular that it sold out so fast. Oh, it smells so good. Now, this is going to smell slightly different than the Bronze Goddess perfume because, again, it's in a different carrier, so it just has a different quality. You get a lot more citrus with this right up front, so it has just a more orangey kind of a smell. But as it dries down and as you start to absorb the body cream, you just get the classic Bronze Goddess fragrance. It's really nice. The formula is outstanding. I've said this so many times. I wish that they had this in an unscented version just because the formula is so good. It's so light. It spreads so nicely. It's not greasy. It's like my favorite body cream, but I don't always want to smell like Bronze Goddess. If I want to wear something else, it's too strong. The fragrance is too strong to pair it with anything else. You're going to smell Bronze Goddess, but it's really good. They launched it again in 2015, and since then I have not seen it leave the website, so I believe that it is permanent year-round. All right, 2015, as I was just saying, we had the body cream again. This is when the collection gets even more convoluted. Now, I'll just tell you they changed the fragrance bottle once more to this gradient, which was 2015, 2016. Really pretty bottle. You can still find these places. Ulta, I saw some on a shelf just a couple weeks ago. Macy's has them on their website the last I checked. It's the old SKU. If you want the old bottle, you can still find it, but do it soon because it's going to go away. They added they had their face and eye palette, which was similar to the one the previous year that I didn't really like, but they had a Sephora exclusive one, which was kind of okay, but again, it was just kind of confusing. It's like, okay, pick one. Um, there was a cheek bronzing cream stick that I do love. I still love, but there was that. That was the coolest thing in the collection. Some lip gloss things that I didn't even get all of. And then, I don't have it here, so I don't know why I keep looking. There was a highlighter that came out. And this is when the fiasco starts to begin and really make me kind of go, God, this isn't fun anymore. Because at this point, we are social media influencers start to become very popular on social media. Instagram, all these different accounts where they basically are just pimping product. They're not doing any reviews. They're giving information, but it's really geared towards just getting their audience amped up and running out to buy. Companies love these people because they're not questioning much. They're not actually reviewing anything. They're not putting a lot of effort or research. They're not even taking their own photos because most of these places, they just take things from other accounts. It's just designed to gear everybody up and go, oh my God, I have to have it, I have to have it, I have to have it. So products become very hard to find, these limited edition products. This one in particular, there was a highlight powder that came out. It looked kind of like Heat Wave. So people were freaking out thinking Heat Wave was coming back and they needed it. Oh my God, how they needed it. But it wasn't Heat Wave. Estée Lauder came out and they said, look, this isn't Heat Wave. We have no plans to relaunch Heat Wave. And still, a lot of these influencer accounts, everyone that I saw was freaking out, going, oh my God, Heat Wave's back, and completely ignoring what the brand was saying. The sad part was that it fucking sucked. I couldn't get it because of the frenzy that was going on when this powder launched. And so Estee Lauder was nice enough to actually send me one, which I appreciated because that's very sweet when I'm like, oh my God, I can't get this. But it still sucked. It was just a really bad product. It wasn't Heat Wave, but I didn't think it was Heat Wave. I never said it was Heat Wave, but it still sucked. And that was kind of a disappointment. So again, the collection kind of falls flat. Last year, 2016, that same gradient bottle, and this was the first year that I bought a collection of Bronze Goddess products that I actually went on camera and I said, I may return this stuff. I didn't because I was just lazy. I was going out of town at the time, I think. And there's a face palette that I hated. There's an eyeshadow palette that I just didn't think was that good. There's lip products that I didn't even bother getting. And there was a liquidy, creamy highlighter thing and a dropper, which was kind of cool. But again, it was one cool product and it wasn't outstanding. It was just outstanding by comparison. It reminds me of in the 90s, if you are gay and old enough to remember, there was a time where it's like there was a lot of shit movies that you had to watch because I mean, and thank God for all these independent movies that were out that were finally showing gay people, and it wasn't just about AIDS, but you had to watch a lot of crap to get to find anything good. People would always say when you're watching a movie, oh, this is a great movie, and you go, by comparison to other gay movies or by comparison to movies in general? Because there's a long time before by comparison to movies in general. Trick was the first one that I watched, that by comparison to movies in general is actually just a really good film. Trick. Look it up. My first introduction to Coco Peru, and I've never looked back. Anyway, so by comparison to the other products in the collection, the little highlighter thing was okay. And the cream blush 2 years prior was okay. But on its own, compared to other products, I don't really care. So that was a disappointment. Now, 2017, this is where we are now. rolls around, they announce that they're going to be launching their same, they say this on the website, it's the cult fragrance in an, what did they say? What did they say? An eau de parfum version. And I was really excited because an eau de parfum is going to just be more concentrated. It might smell slightly different, but it's basically a concentrated version of Bronze Goddess. And they say the description for these are the two bottles, by the way. This is the smaller bottle, but this is the Bronze Goddess Cream Frige, and this is the Eau de Parfum. The descriptions for these are the same on the website. The notes are slightly different from what I recall, but the notes didn't make any sense to me anyway, so I just went off the description, and when it says the cult fragrance now in an eau de parfum version, I assumed that this is Bronze Goddess. So I bought this as soon as it launched because I'm really excited for a more intense, concentrated, longer wearing version of Bronze Goddess. And I get it, I'm not going to spray it here. And I smell it. I sprayed it in this room actually, and then I couldn't come in this room for 2 days because this shit stinks so bad. Now, if you don't like Bronze Goddess, hey, you might like this. If you like Vanilla Musk Old Lady Panties, hey, you might like this. I think that this is just gross. It's a vanilla musk, and I think that it's a cheap vanilla musk, especially for the price that you pay for this stuff. Now, this is going back. I called. I have it here for the video, but I called and I said, that's a fucking lie. I didn't say that. I was very friendly. But I'm like, this isn't at all Bronze Goddess. What the hell? I'm not paying for shipping to send this shit back. So they sent me a little UPS thing to send it back, which was very nice of them. But just be warned, this isn't good. People on the website give this great reviews. That's fine. Somebody out there is going to love this. A lot of people might like this. I think it's horrible. Now, when I got this, I hadn't smelled this, and they came out with the shimmering body oil again. And also, by the way, I totally forgot I think this was 2016. This was last year. The shimmering body oil came in a rose gold thing. We went back. Now we're going forward again. So there's the shimmering body oil, and there's the Cream Frige, and I didn't know I didn't have these. So all I knew was that they were saying this was Bronze Goddess. And so I thought, shit, is this a more intense, is this a more intense version of this? And like, so like this year, this doesn't smell like Bronze Goddess at all? Where's my pickles? And so I called every Nordstrom within like a 5,000 mile radius. And some people weren't working. Some people didn't know. I get one store, no one was working Estee Lauder, but I talked to the fragrance manager. I'm the fragrance manager. I can help you. I said, okay, well, do you know what Estee Lauder Bronze Goddess smells like? No, not at all. I'm like, no. So I tell him that I'm like, okay, I just want to know, what is this? Does this smell like this? Or does this smell like one of these? And they explained to me that an eau de parfum always smells slightly different than the eau de toilette or the Cream Frige. I'm like, I get it, but we're not talking in the same family. Because I bought eau de parfums before, or bought eau de toilettes and then bought the eau de parfum. And maybe some subtle differences, but it's essentially the same fucking fragrance. This is totally different. Totally different. And I wanted him to smell them, but he wouldn't do it. He just kept insisting I was wrong. So I thought he could just go fuck himself, and I hung up the phone. Then I call, oh, God, I love him. God love a person in Portland. I call Portland, and I'm talking to this, do you have the Estee Lauder Bronze Goddess fragrances out for this year? She says, no. And as I'm hanging up the phone, she screams, oh, my God, no, they're right in front of me. So she puts me on hold. She gets back on the phone in under a minute, and she just goes, gross. I said, I know, right? That's not Bronze Goddess at all, she says. And I'm like, no. She said, that's gross. I hadn't smelled that before. That smells gross. And I'm like, yeah, it does. So I said, what do they smell like? Now, she didn't think that this smelled like Bronze Goddess, or this smelled like Bronze Goddess, or this smelled like Bronze Goddess. She didn't think they smelled like each other, but she thought that they all smelled slightly different. Now, she did admit that she is not a Bronze Goddess wearer, but she's familiar with the fragrance enough to say that she wasn't sure that these were the same. I called one store in the Midwest, and they say, oh, no, it's totally different, and it's so amazing because it doesn't smell at all like Bronze Goddess. I'm like, thanks, okay, you've answered my question. And they also said that all these smelled different. Now, the oil is perhaps always going to smell slightly different than any of the others because, again, it's in a different type of carrier. So, yes, it's possible, but you can still tell if they're related. Now, I had to buy these things because I had to smell them for myself. I think that this smells like Bronze Goddess. I think this smells like all the other bottles of Bronze Goddess I have. I think that this smells like Bronze Goddess in an oil, so it's a little bit lighter. It's fine, but it smells like Bronze Goddess. I think I did a test, like an old bottle, and then this, and I ask other people, I'm like, and people are like, well, maybe there's a subtle blah, blah. If you're having to really think that hard about it, then I'm going to say that they're the same. So I think that they're the same. That's what I think. Now, they also did launch a body salt scrub. I don't know why I knew what this was, but for some reason I still had to read it. I've tried this and it's okay. It looks kind of gross. It's very yellow. It's got an interesting texture, but I don't, and it's very much scented like Bronze Goddess. I don't get much of a scrub out of it at all. So I didn't really care for it. But I mean, I'll keep it because it's a big tub of oily stuff and I have dry skin. So there you go. But that's it. That's all I got. So why am I not wanting to do this anymore? I'm not wanting to do this anymore because, one, I seem to have technical problems every time I try. And that just means somebody's trying to tell me something. Two, I keep getting more and more disappointed by the collection. I am very disappointed in the way that they've handled this because they can do what they want. I don't care. They're not hurting my feelings. But you call it Bronze Goddess when it doesn't smell like Bronze Goddess. Call it something else. My God, you had Bronze Goddess Soleil. You had Bronze Goddess Capri. Call this Bronze Goddess Old Lady Vanilla Crotch because it's just gross. I know that's crude of me. But one, it's the truth. Two, Lisa Rinna wouldn't care. And three, this shit's gross. But call it something else so that we know that it's not Bronze Goddess. Because that was a waste of money, and it's a way I got to send this back and they got to throw it away. So, what a waste. What a waste. When you could have been clear from the beginning. That would have been fine. I would have just said, wow, I don't like this year's counterpart to Bronze Goddess. Not, I'm really irritated that I was lied to and told that this was the same cult fragrance, now in a new intense version. They're not related in any way at all. At all. At all. Shenanigans. Shenanigans. And three, this was so hard to get. And I'm just kind of tired of it. For one, I'm tired of the highlighter thing anyway. I'm so tired of the highlighter thing. I love a bronzing blush that comes out with a summer collection. Nobody does them anymore because everybody's freaking out about highlighters. I'm so ready for the trend to be done. But it's so hard to find because you've got all of these social media pimps that aren't really giving any useful information except when to buy something and where it's going to be and why you need it and oh my God, rush to get it now. And I get that there's excitement in getting something that's limited edition. I totally do. I was never one to cry when I couldn't find something that got sold out at MAC. I'm like, oh, well, I missed it. I'll try harder next time. There is something fun in the sort of scavenger hunt. But you shouldn't, if you really want something, you shouldn't have to just, it shouldn't be within the hour that it's gone and you're never going to like have another chance to get it. I had to find somebody who worked at a Dillard's in the Midwest, I think, and somewhere, not here anyway, and get them to sell it to me over the phone and ship it because this was so hard to get for a highlighter that looks like 500 other highlighters on the market. And I'm done with that. I'm just done. I don't want to fight about it. I don't want to be mad about it. I don't want to waste my time being angry that someone's online and doesn't do any research and gets their audience all riled up and has to buy. I don't care. That's what you want to do. That's fine. That's your hobby. But I like to buy stuff and review it and actually look at the ingredients. And I mean, hello, you've got this and you've got this, and people are thinking that they're the same product and they're not. That's what I like to do. And I don't want to work that hard to do it. I don't want to spend my money on stuff that by the time I'm doing a video, it's been gone for weeks with no hope that anybody's going to get it. I don't care anymore. That's the moral of that story. I just don't care. And I don't want to be mad about it. I don't want to be frustrated. I don't want to be in a bad mood. Bad moods don't make me happy. It doesn't bring me joy. But for the most part, I'm just sort of realizing, I don't know that I like this collection. I think that I just like the fragrance. And I love the fragrance. I love it. And I highly recommend checking it out. If you're someone who's never smelled it, if you're someone who doesn't like fragrance, it was my gateway drug. And I have always been someone who hated fragrance. But Bronze Goddess kind of opened the door for me and was like, oh, this is interesting. I hear the dog coming. What are you doing, bud? What are you doing? Were you asleep in the other room? He's going to hop up on the microphone. Hi. Oh my God. You're so excited. Do you want to come here? Do you want to say goodbye with me? He totally doesn't. Are you going to walk away? Come here. Come here. Everybody loves you. You better not pee on me. Oh, you got so excited you peed a little. Say hi. Oh, yeah, I love you. And that's what we got. That's it. Are you excited for me to be done? Now I can play with you. I'm going to put my knee up here so you can say hi. Say hi, Baxter. This is Baxter. You've seen him before. He needs a haircut so bad. You're starting to look ragged. You're looking ragged. Your tail is wagging. Anyway, that's it. That's all I got. I'm going to go play with the dog, because that brings me joy. Thanks so much for watching. Until I see you next time, which will be soon, please remember, take care and drive safe.